Commanders Field holds a little more than 80,000, and they have come out in droves here in Landover, Maryland. It's the Battle of the Beltway. Baltimore and Washington are underway. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing right away is Daniels. Dancing to his left. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3. They'll run for the first time here with Brian Robinson. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
He may be a bit undersized compared to the modern-day NFL defensive tackle, but what he lacks in size, he definitely makes up for in his ability to make tackles in the run game as well.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. Now their versatile running back, here's Austin Eckler. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 13 yards there and a Washington first. 3rd and short, so didn't need much, but got a little extra on the backside. Nice run.
Chewed up the yardage, didn't he? To me, that was offensive line with leverage, good blocking angles, taking on a stacked defensive front. And once they chopped that little hole in the beginning, he took it and rambled.
And just the 3rd play from scrimmage, wanted to avoid the 3 and out and did just that. That's out wide here for Robinson. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now after the false start, they need 8 yards here on 3rd down. Here's Daniels. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 15. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And he'll power ahead, but only for about 3 yards. 2nd down coming up.
It may be only a gain of 3 yards, but that back, he deserves a lot more credit on the play. That could have easily been stopped at the line, but his vision and his determination found some space to turn it into that modest gain.
And they'll come up 2nd and 7. Again, it's Henry. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
They need 12 here. It's 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. Forced out to his left. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line. 5 yards, and that means they come up short as they're going to have to punt here on the opening drive.
Well, you know, paramount for this defense is trying to keep Lamar Jackson somewhat contained when he tries to run. They did a pretty good job of it there.
And you know it's so difficult for every defense that has to prepare for Lamar Jackson? You have to think and play at the same time. And I know that sounds like something you're supposed to do, but when you have to think about your assignments against him, it often slows down your feet. You don't move as fast. You've got to be prepared for this guy every step of the way and then try and match his athleticism.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 36-yard line. They begin the drive with Robinson. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Throwing now is Daniels. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The rookie from LSU leading this offense well. A good throw there leads to a 1st down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Brandon, what's even more impressive is that came against double coverage. He gashed them with that reception, even with the extra focus that he drew from the defense.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now Daniels. Throw right side is going to be caught by Samuel. And the Commanders are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
It's all pretty simple sometimes, isn't it? Go where the defenders are not, and he does exactly that. Makes a nice catch to move the chains. Defense, got to find a better way of accounting for the shorter routes that are being run against them.
Daniels looking to throw. And that's going to be knocked away in the end zone. It's incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. To throw is Daniels. And a dump off here to Robinson. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. So back-to-back plays, each get nothing. And that will lead to a 3rd and goal.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now we got whistles before the snap. Looked like one of the Commanders jumped.
A bad time for a false start penalty as they're backed up now for 3rd and goal.
To the air goes Daniels.
This one hauled in, and again it's Robinson. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Well, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
Seibert able to knock this one through. And the Commanders get out to a 3-0 lead. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. And now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call, because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
They'll send the big tight end in motion right. Now Jackson.
A little short one there, caught by Likely.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Play action. It's Jackson.
No hesitation, goes right back to Likely.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards, and it'll bring up a 2nd and short.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. They go play action with Jackson.
That's complete to the fullback, Ricard.
And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one a first down pickup of 8.
It's pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game, but in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
They'll bring a tight end in motion left. And Jackson throwing once more. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense. And if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
A first down carry for Henry.
And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. A much different second drive here, Charles. They go 3 and out the first time. This time they've been able to sustain something downfield.
And that's what often happens. You get the game started. You know, you have to get your footing underneath you. You have to get used to the flow of the game, the speed of the game. And sometimes that first drive is more of a probing drive. It appears they found something here in the second one.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And he fends him off. But now he's swallowed up and taken down. That's Deron Payne with a sack that time.
Like the footwork back there, I thought he did a pretty good job of evading that first wave of players. Tried to buy a little extra time out of the pocket, but in the end, oh, that was a tough one.
Yeah, winds up getting buried for the loss. Three 0 after 1 on EA Sports. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. They go play action now. Jackson. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first.
Jackson's going to keep it.
And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Well, he'd had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson keeping it himself from 7 yards out. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
Now, this defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number one.
It should be number one. And in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they were very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again.
Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Daniels.
That is caught. He's across midfield.
And down to the 29-yard line.
Big yardage that time for Washington.
43 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. Throws the out route and completes it to Samuel.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more on that one and another first down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
And returns it right back to Samuel.
And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down.
Second and 3, and they trail 7-3, but getting close to changing that. And this defense hoping to limit them to a field goal to preserve the lead.
And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Robinson will try to pick it up. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. A third down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
That's a tremendous group effort there, because when you talk about offensive lines, the best ones, talk about guys that play in harmony, in sync, and getting things done, and they did that on that play.
Yeah, especially on 3rd and 1. Got to be in sync, and they were. They'll run with Robinson. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Now, the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Quick throw, and it's caught by Gallup. They make a good bit of that yardage back as they're set up in much better shape now for 2nd and goal.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Robinson is not going anywhere. He'll be hit and dropped for no gain at the 2-yard line. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Robinson again, pushing for the end zone, but he's not going to get there. They stop him just shy of the goal line. Only a yard that time, so now a decision to be made here on 4th and goal. Defense didn't budge on 3rd down. Now what are we going to see on 4th?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what, right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. And I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the #1 thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action. Now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
They snap it at 1. Now it's Jackson. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, we've seen Jackson already have success in the first half running the football, and he gets good yardage on the ground again there. I mean, I know it's a $64,000 question, CD, but how do they contain him better?
You have to win against the blockers ahead of you. If those guys even occupy a defender for even a half a second, then Lamar Jackson is gone. You've got to take those blockers and move them so that you have clear vision of Lamar Jackson, and hopefully you can hem him in.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it, and while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
Here's Jackson. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
Well, this has certainly turned into a showcase game for what he can do on the ground because they're just continuing to give him chances to run it, and he's earning every additional carry by putting up positive yardage on each run.
In motion left, Bateman.
And now Jackson will look to throw it.
That's complete, left side to Bateman.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The Raven passing game getting in sync, another first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. And Bateman, he'll go in motion right here.
Now Jackson taps this forward jet sweep. Nifty move. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
Just a simple tap pass, but it pays off in a big way.
And sometimes the simple stuff causes the most problems for a defense because there's a breakdown in communication there. When that receiver goes behind the line of scrimmage and it looks like he's going in motion, someone either has to go with him or he has to be passed off to another defender. Somehow they didn't get that communicated well, and it turned into a nice play.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
Back at the 2 now. Here's 2nd and goal.
Henry will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
You think back to some of the great goal line bruisers of the past, the Earl Campbells, the John Riggins, the Marshawn Lynches. I think you can put Derrick Henry right in that group as he scores there with another patented Derrick Henry run.
Tucker now for the extra point. And it's up. It's good. Our score 14-6. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And the Washington offense heading out.
They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting threes, and you're coming back and getting twos, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now.
And I could see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Able to find a lot of empty space there, picking up the first down at a 21-yard gain.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Tosses the out route here to Gallup.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Here's Daniels.
Middle of the field, he's got McLaurin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. Well, they brought the pressure, and that meant man coverage behind him, so he's still able to complete the pass.
Even as he took the hit, and that's what you have to do, because I was just talking with a coach the other day, and he said, look, it's not always going to be pretty back there. You're going to have to give me completions. Even when you're taking some hits, sometimes you have to be your own blitz control, for lack of a better term. Got to make completions, step up, and make those throws, and he did that.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Throwing now is Daniels.
And this will be caught by Brown.
And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Now Daniels.
That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle.
Now the Commanders going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts,
as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Second and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Daniels looking to throw.
And that one finds the ground, breaking a string of 5 straight completions. And it brings up 2nd down. No, third down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense, because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
To throw is Daniels.
And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
Another good drive, Charles, but it looks like another that might end in a field goal try.
They've made some nice plays. They've given themselves opportunities, but as you noted, another field goal attempt coming up. And that's not how they want to end drives. They've got to figure out what's the final touch that they need to push it across the goal line.
Yeah, still yet to find the end zone. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
After the made field goal, Seibert back out there to kick it away.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Ravens going to get one more drive here in this first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll bring a tight end in motion right. To throw is Jackson.
A short one there, caught by Likely.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The Ravens ready to receive it, and they've got the lead as well as we resume play in the second half.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Raven offense set to start this third quarter, and they've got the lead, CD. What do you expect from them in this second half?
Well, I like what they were able to do on the ground in the first half because they had a lot of success running the ball, and I certainly think we'll see more of that. But I'd keep an eye on that defense, and I think their coaches up in the box will do the exact same thing. If they start to see one or two guys start to creep towards the line of scrimmage, that'll be licensed to take some shots downfield.
And that is incomplete. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Now a 2nd and 10. Now it's Jackson. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
To win any route, you've got to break down the defender, and that's exactly what happened here on this really nicely executed curl route.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Jackson. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the second half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
On 2nd down, here's the option. And very little room to maneuver. He'll get this down to about the 39. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
Now it's Jackson. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
And, Brandon, this is the time of the game when Jackson could really take over. He's got the defense's legs a little bit tired. He's got them on the run.
Yeah, this defense looks gassed, and you're exactly right. Second half with the lead, this is when Lamar Jackson seems to thrive. And he is going to lose yardage here. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Carryover from the first half. That defensive line continues to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they're actually playing the game in the offense's backfield. They're taking those offensive linemen and pushing them back towards the quarterback and towards the runners. I still don't think, though, that you abandon the running game totally, because if you do, you're asking for a lot more hits on your QB.
And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. He gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Throwing is Jackson. They set up the screen for Henry. And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Play action. Now Jackson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. He finds Hopkins complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Simple drag route here, lined up out left and tried to work his way back across the field. You probably saw me twitch there, partner, because I think he wanted the ball a little bit sooner. By the time he looked it in, defender was right on him.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they're going to have another 1st down here as the tackle's made at Washington 16. That good for 19 yards as they pick up the conversion on third.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll bring the tight end in motion right here. Jackson will throw again. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. He's down inside the 10 to the 8, and it comes on a gain of 8.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Ball on the 8, 2nd and 2. A shotgun handoff to Henry. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on third down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
You get down near the goal line, you need to start enlisting the help of all 11 guys on the defense. And that's a nice job there by the cornerback, squaring his shoulders and coming in to make the tackle.
2nd and goal from inside the 5. Off the option, here's Henry. And he'll be stopped about a yard shy of the goal line after a pickup of about 3.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. They're knocking on the door as they come to the line here on 3rd and goal from the 1. Trying to punch it in with Henry. And Henry fighting for the marker, but I don't think he got there. He did not. No gain on the play, and what to do now on 4th and goal. This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the 3rd quarter. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. First possession of the 2nd half now for Washington. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the 2nd half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Working out of the gun, Daniels. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. On third down, Robinson. And they went the wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jackson now. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. So the completion good for just 3. And it'll be 2nd down.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
In motion comes the tight end left. Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, a short throw caught by Andrews. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Again, Jackson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a 1st down.
Partner, even I can figure out who deserves the lion's share of credit for their lead right now because he has been terrific in a dual threat role, really chewing up yardage and getting them points with his legs. Simply put, that defense has had no way of stopping him, and that's why his side is on top.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Two yards to go, 2nd down. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Commanders Field. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the 4th. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. Here's Jackson. The short one there, caught by Likely. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to, pick up a 1st down.
Off the option, here's Henry.
And some room to maneuver. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
54 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the fourth quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
Now Jackson. He's got his man. It's Andrews.
And the Ravens are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Henry up the middle. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A pickup of 4 on 1st down. It'll be 2nd and goal. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
Henry again. And good work there defensively as they're able to keep him out of the end zone.
Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is a time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Here's Henry. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
It's interesting where we are in the game now. The analytics folks, they might tell you to kick the field goal and make it a 2-score game. But you have to wonder if emotionally they're thinking, let's go for the touchdown and try and slam the door.
Tucker's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away.
And able to get this out to the 25. The Washington offense set to take over. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. To the air goes Daniels.
And he floats one there, incomplete.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
Following the incomplete pass, here they go again. 2nd and 10 from the 25.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know that there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 10.
Here's Daniels.
And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Incomplete. It's Hopkins. Call it at its 2nd down. Jackson.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Jackson.
Throw right side, going to be taken in by Henry. And he will have a Ravens 1st down, and he was able to get it by plenty. A gain of 8 on 3rd and 3.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
Oh, so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. Down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield.
Marshawn Lattimore finding his way behind the line and to the football.
Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
67 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold them.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down.
Back to throw. Jackson.
Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Critical play in this football game because if they pick up the 1st there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a 1st down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines.
The Commanders' offense set to take over. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
And he'll get this one up to the 26. And it's 2nd down.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on 1st down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive.
So from the 26-yard line, here's 2nd down and 8. Throwing now is Daniels.
That's going to be caught by Samuel. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a 1-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Out of the gun, they give to Robinson.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Now, that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. To throw is Daniels.
Got him in. It's Brown. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a one-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
Now Daniels.
And that'll be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
2nd and 10. Daniels looking to throw.
And his throw here's incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'll guarantee you he quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw again.
Looking right side, and it's intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it, and the Ravens will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line. And they'll begin by running the option.
Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down.
Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
The tight end in motion right. Now it's Jackson.
That's caught. It's Flowers.
And he's brought down. 2nd catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because, to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
Henry will get it. He's been busy today. Oh, and now some space to operate.
Still going.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Derrick Henry with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Ravens have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter.
I know I should keep the focus and the spotlight on the hero that just scored, but tackling's been an issue for this defense all game long. I can't set that aside. We just saw it again here. Missed tackles leads to his long touchdown run.
Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and the lead is up to 18 now. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. And Washington going to come back out here to take over offensively. So now, Charles, this drive maybe a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best in the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead. And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Got his man there, complete to Gallup. That one a first down pickup of 8. Looking to throw. Daniels. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. He'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave him with 2nd and a yard.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. This will be caught at Samuel.
He's got room to roam, and he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. Back to throw. Daniels.
Here's a screen for Robinson.
And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4.
That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again. They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
This defense has not surrendered a touchdown yet. You better believe they're determined not to here on 3rd and goal. They'll look to throw again.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same Surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
And he's in. Touchdown, Commanders. Jaden Daniels
taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Commanders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter.
But defensively, didn't seem like anybody had eyes on the quarterback, and he took advantage.
So you think that maybe we're seeing some pretty good instincts for a young guy? Because that's the thing you worry about coming out of college. You're used to getting away with just about anything you want to do. You're just superior. Here, he has to read it, figure it out, and know when it's time to go.
So 2 scores down. Time definitely not an ally, but here comes the onside kick. And this one recovered by the hands team for the Ravens. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none.
We got to have 2 hands on the football here as they run on 1st down.
Now a timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with 1:07 remaining.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession.
And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Jackson, options out left.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Here's Jackson to throw. And he's got some space here. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20.
Now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout
as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
Oh, the trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full of confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we sign off from Landover.